Hello, everyone. Today is November 8th. It is Wednesday. It is your ever-occurring midweek review. A couple announcements before we get into the charts. We now have created kind of all of our socials. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, right? That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We're going to be posting some content for you guys on there, so please make sure you follow us, like any content you might like, and share. That helps us out on our end. That's really the only announcement I have on my end. There's really nothing other than that. Henry, what else do you have?
Yeah, not much from me. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. Uh, you know, it's been a pretty consolidated week for the most part, but continuing to reach up toward the targets we discussed on Sunday. We'll jump into that in a sec. I won't be around this Sunday, so it'll just be Carson on the call. I'm away for the weekend, but I look forward to seeing how things play out the rest of the week. And I'll be back next week for midweek market review and the following Sunday call. So I'll see you then.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into it. Dollar on the weekly. I know talking last week, what we were talking about, I kind of shifted my bias and thought that we could start to move a little bit lower on dollar after kind of eyeing buy side liquidity. And so still same scenario. A couple things that I'm noting. Closure, obviously, last week was pretty heavy. I wanted to see what the week of October 23rd, this wick right here, the consequent encroachment of it, you can see that extended out here. And then you can also see when you zoom in, there is a BISI right here. And we invalidated that and closed through that. And I'm curious to see if we add kind of some inversion there going lower. You can see the high of today or the high of this week has been kind of posted in that consequent encroachment of that inverted BISI. So really, I would like to see the rest of the week start to move lower. There is a BISI right here, right? A very tiny, thin BISI right here. So I would like to see price move there and then potentially going lower into the equilibrium of kind of the entire range we've had this year from July all the way up here. So from this low to this high, this equilibrium. So for the most part, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm curious to see if we hold the current week's high and potentially kind of make our way down into this BISI in and around the 104,500 level. When you go on a daily, a couple things could play out here. So obviously our two equilibrium points still there. We have this breaker that I'm watching, right? We have a high, a low, a higher high, and we take out that low with displacement. And I'm identifying this displacement right here. You can see we kind of pushed up into all three. We pushed up into the breaker, stayed below the lower 50% portion of that breaker. We pushed up into the equilibrium or consequent encroachment of that weekly wick that I had identified. And then we also now fully filled the SIBI. You can see on Monday, we almost filled the entirety of it, but we did not quite fill all of it. And we got that complete fill today. And you can see the reaction lower, right? Price is not wanting to close really even in the breaker or in the lower half of the breaker, obviously clearly below the consequent encroachment of this wick on the weekly. And so I'm really thinking that we could potentially fill some areas in here. Right, I could potentially see us come visit this area, and then overall come visit this area here. That's kind of my eye with regards to sell side and where we could go. A couple things that would invalidate that. It's hard to tell right now just because of where the market's at and how we've been pushing up so heavily. I would not want price to really give me any clear closure above 106,600 and around this volume imbalance. Price for the deepest retracement could come up to this level, but I don't think it is satisfactory. And you would want price to remain heavy-handed to the downside. If you take from this high to this low, it might want to reach up a little bit higher if the week goes in and above this equilibrium. So 105,987. If we can get above that, that would be price pushing into some form of premium. But I do want to see price actually stay below that. I want to see it stay heavy downsided, and we want to continue kind of going lower. You can see price created a BISI after today. I would want price to kind of come into that level, close through it, act as resistance, and then go lower into these areas that I had just mentioned right here, right? Could be in and around 104,500, could be in and around 104 flat, and then 103,500. Those are kind of where I'm seeing the bearish perspective of the dollar. Other than that, that's about it from me. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the social or the forum, and I would be happy to answer them. Thank you. All you, Henry.
Jump into ES real quick. Not a whole lot of new developments. Still just working up toward the buy side targets we discussed. I will start here on the monthly chart. So you can see in October, running down to purge sell side liquidity under May's monthly candle low, right down there, and then working back up into the range. So working back up into a premium if you draw out this dealing range right here, putting your fib on the high, kind of the low. You can see we're working right up toward that equilibrium. And make these a bit darker so you can see it. There. So taking my fib high to low, working back up to a premium, and we're just tapping into that now. So it makes sense here to reach up into a couple of these premium ranges above price and equilibrium, above equilibrium, excuse me. So on the monthly chart here, really just looking at October's monthly high as the next area to reach for. Right, we've got buy side liquidity above that high. So that's what we'll be continuing to target going into the end of the week. Going down on the weekly chart here, just go ahead and remove that. You can see how we've kind of been consolidating here inside these candles wicks, but we have gotten closure above the consequent encroachment at this point, which continues to show bullish signs to me that we will reach up toward the buy side up here. And then how far could we potentially go above the buy side? If we do reach in here, I'd just be watching for consequent encroachment of the monthly CIBI. And then you also want to look at this way. So if you put it on there, since this portion has already been redelivered, you want to look at the remaining portion, and you can quarter this as well. So you can take your fib and put it on there to there, and get your consequent encroachment. You can get the quarters as well. So those are the levels that you kind of want to watch out for above buy side, as areas price can trade to as it gets deeper into this inefficiency. All right. Moving down to a daily chart. Get that one offset. You can see the first buy side objective was reached here. Talked about this volume imbalance being traded into. So here was Friday's close right here. And then Monday, just consolidation, but opening with the volume imbalance. Tuesday, trading down into this candle's wick and into that volume imbalance, again, closing back above it. And then I'll say this inversion right here. So note where Tuesday's low was made, right at the high end of that old BISI. Right there. Daily chart. Continuing to work up into the volume imbalance. So now we're just looking for this to continue up toward buy side above here, above October 17th high, and then October 12th high, and then reaching into the remainder of this daily CIBI and the weekly CIBI above. Okay, so look at this like 4-hour chart. You can see that pretty clear market make a buy model. Right, here's your original consolidation. There was the distribution, smart money reversal in here, the accumulation, second stage, and then we're distributing up into the buy side above the original consolidation up here. So just watch for that to continue to play out. We got some good news for the rest of the week. Powell speaking in the PM tomorrow on Thursday. So that could potentially be a driver to work up to our buy side. Or we could see price continue to consolidate in this range. This is where my eye is at right now. But I'd be interested to see how the rest of the week develops. So keep your eyes up here. And that's pretty much it for me on ES. I can just cover quickly on NASDAQ. Really same idea for the most part. Here on the monthly chart, we traded down to an old high, right around the consequent encroachment of this old monthly BISI, right there. Now working up toward October's high, where we have buy side resting above. On the weekly chart, we got daily closure above this old weekly SIBI right there. That's more confirmation of the bullish order flow, so we can continue to work up toward buy side above this weekly candle high. And then back on the monthly chart real quick. If we do get really extended above that, there's a volume imbalance here on the monthly chart that you could look for price to return to up there. Still a ways away, but possible area to reach for. Here on the daily chart, you can see we got the closure above the weekly SIBI. We're trading nicely in that upper portion of the SIBI as well. Now looking for this to potentially be used as inversion to trade up for the buy side, and this remaining portion of this daily SIBI between this candle's low and this candle's high. It was partially delivered into right here on October 12th, just barely. So we want to do the same thing again when you're looking for your consequent growth here. Right? Mark out the remaining portion of the inefficiency, and then you can take your fib from that low, and instead of putting it to here, put it to this candle's high, and you'll get your quarter months. So if price trades above buy side here, then you can look for these levels next. Okay. That is it for me. Carson, any last notes?
No, I'm all good. Just kind of eye to eye there. All's well. Kind of playing to the tune of obviously everything we discussed on the Sunday call. Other than that, that's it. Just a reminder, we did make social accounts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find us at FH Trading Group. And, please let us know what content you might like, what things you do not like. We are definitely listening to your guys' feedback and would love to know what you guys might want to see in the future. One more time, it's going to be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at FH Trading Group. Let us know. Thank you, guys.
Talk soon.